Okay, so today I want to start with talking about a world topic that I think you guys should know about, but I actually want to bring you guys in on a little drama that I've been having on TikTok. What? My wife doesn't want me to call it drama. It's drama. Anything that you go back and forth on, let's be honest, it's drama, right? But sometimes it's good, right? Like the kids say, it's the tea. And I'm going to spill that tea. My wife cringes when I say that. I got to get hip. I got to get with the times because they're calling me old out there. So today I'm going to fill you guys in on some drama that's been happening. But the reason I want to tell you guys about it is not just because, you know, it's something that's going to entertain you. It actually has some value. It really does. And quite frankly, I enjoy having conversations with people online, whether it be here on YouTube or on TikTok or any other platforms of which I'm on. And by the way, if you guys want to know where I am located around the internet, go to description here, the description down below on YouTube, and there's a link tree. You guys can find all of our social media down there. But okay, which one do I start with first? The Biden news, the COVID news, or the drama? The drama? No. Let's go with news first. Let's be formal. All right. Let's be formal. You guys can skip to the drama. I'll put it on in the YouTube notes there. What? It is drama. But okay. Let's go very quickly so we can get into the drama. News. Biden orders closer review of COVID origins. That's right. That's what you heard. You heard it right. As U.S. intel weighs Wuhan lab leak theory. Of course, they still have to call it a theory. Now, there is a very good reason why I'm bringing this up, okay? I want everybody to go back and remember, what was it now, 100 days ago plus, when we had the other president, right, that everybody loved to hate, but loved to watch and hear? When he had similar theories, people marked him as, a guy that, loved to spread hate and Asian panic or Asian hate or, all these different terms, right? Because he said in very different words, hey, this virus came from China. And many times he hinted at maybe it didn't come from these markets, right? Whatever they were, fish markets or whatever they were, maybe they actually came from a lab. And again, he was marked as a lunatic, a crazy person. Now we have a new president, brand new president, right? That most people love, not the orange clown that everybody loved to hate, who is saying, according to this article out of CNBC, President Joe Biden announced Wednesday that he has ordered a closer intelligence review of what he said were two equally plausible scenarios of the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden revealed that earlier this year, he tasked the intelligence community with preparing a report of their utmost up-to-date analysis of the origins of the COVID-19, including whether it emerged from a human contact with infected animals or from a laboratory accident. Yes, accident. Sure. All right. Here on the actual article itself, it goes on to say, it breaks down that, there is more likely that it did come from an animal infection, right? Versus that there's only like one possibility that it came from a laboratory accident, as they're marking it now. If it turns out that it is an quote accident. But the problem that I'm having with this, okay, is that, well, for one, it's being swept under the rug. I think many people don't really know what any of this actually even means. But what I want you guys to understand is that if it in fact this ends up being that it did come, right, from a lab in China, what does this mean, first of all, for the millions of people that have passed away, for the thousands of families that have lost family members? Some families have lost multiple family members. What happens with any type of what you want to call restitutions? I don't know what term you want to use, right? Essentially saying, where do we hold China accountable? Now, is China just going to throw, whatever this ends up, whatever lab this came from, if it in fact they did come from a lab, they're just going to kind of throw them under the bus and say, yeah, arrest all those scientists or whatnot. What does it really mean? So a little bit more of the article, right? It says that as of today, the U.S. intelligence community has, what is that word there? I'm sorry, I'm not really good at words sometimes. Coalesced? What is that word? Coalesced around two likely scenarios, but has not reached a definitive conclusion on this question, Biden said in a statement. Here is their current position. While two elements in the IC leans towards the human contact scenario, and one leans more towards the lab leak scenario, each with low to moderate confidence. The majority of the elements do not believe that there is a sufficient information to assess one to be more likely than the other, Biden said. So they don't know. All this mumbo jumbo, right? No pun intended there on how he talks. Just all this mumbo jumbo, all it really means is we don't know. We have enough information to kind of make us feel that this came from an animal infection, as they have been screaming and telling everyone to just believe that blindly, right? And all these other press conferences, even before Biden was around, right? We had Fauci and Dr. Deborah Birx and all these other people, asserting us that this came from an unfortunate, infection with an animal, interaction with an animal. And now it's like, well, we have, what is it? The majority of the elements do not believe that there is sufficient information to assess that, one is more likely than the other. To me, it's a bunch of BS. To me, if this in fact came from a lab, there is going to be, I think, a lot of push for conflict with China, and we don't want that. I'm not saying that on here. I'm not saying we should push for that, but I think that there's going to be other real warmongers that will be pushing for that, right? That have been wanting to see conflict with China for a long time, that there are plenty of other reasons why, we shouldn't be very happy with the government of China. Plenty of other reasons, and this is just going to be the cherry on top. Nonetheless, I am interested in seeing how does a big world power like China plans to make up for it. I'll just leave it in lame terms. How do they plan to come out and say, besides, oops, I'm sorry, how do they plan to make it right? Because this is serious. Now, it's not just, Biden's government saying, okay, we're going to own up to this and talk about it. Now, even the likes of Facebook, according to the New York Post article you're seeing in front of you, for those of you guys hearing on the podcast, there's an article that says Facebook reverses the ban on posts claiming COVID-19 was man-made. Again, one more thing that Facebook, among other social media platforms, decided to do during Trump's presidency, you had a lot of people kind of throwing the theory that you just heard around, Biden claiming that there's a possibility, it's plausible, as, the article says. When Trump was around, all these social media platforms and even YouTube, came out and said, don't talk about it, don't say that. No, we're going to mark your video, we're going to take it down. Now, I don't know how YouTube can still take down even this very video when I'm showing YouTube, if for some reason you're hearing this, that is, I'm just reporting and, socially commenting on what the New York Post and the White House, the president, is saying. So I'm not spreading any conspiracy. I'm reading articles. Some people might say, really? You can't even pronounce that word. Kind of trying to read. Okay, I'm kind of trying to read. Okay? But here we have the likes of Facebook saying, okay, never mind. Go ahead and talk about it. In the article, a little bit about it, it says Facebook will no longer remove posts on its platform asserting COVID-19 was man-made. A new report said, as the president on Wednesday ordered U.S. intelligence agencies to investigate it if the virus came from a Chinese lab. There was, I guess, somebody from Facebook, a spokesperson, that said, in light of what's going on with the investigations into the origins of COVID-19, and in consultation with public health experts, we will no longer remove the claim that COVID-19 is man-made from our app. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So why now? Why all of a sudden? Because Biden came out and said, this is possible, guys. And because he's not an orange man, orange clown, whatever everybody, called Trump. What's my point, guys? All right. Before we move on to, the drama that you guys, this is what I've been preaching here on this show since I started. You gotta fight to hear both sides of the argument, to understand both sides of the coin of any topic, not just what makes you feel better, not just what you feel that someone that you don't like is saying. You don't want to hear that. And you're like, no, you don't have to like Trump. I'm not here to tell anyone or convince anyone that you should like Trump. You want to hate Trump for all the other stupidity he has said? Go for it. I don't care. I have plenty of times bashed them. Plenty of times I've bashed on the guy because he has said a lot of stupid shit. Okay, but I like to hear both sides of the argument. I don't want an application. I don't want some random bozo telling me what I need to believe. I want to hear both sides. And that's what I've been telling people. Never give up that right. Never just blindly allow anybody to, spoon feed you all these headlines because they are either of your political likeness or because someone that you think you trust is telling you. I've even said that about myself. If you've ever wanted, to fact check me. Call me out on the comments. And I always say this, as long as you do it respectfully, I will be respectful to you, and we can have a back and forth conversation if we need to, right? I don't need to be proven that I'm always right. I am open to being proven that I'm wrong, and I'm open to learning, because ultimately what I'm out here to pursue is growth, self-growth, right? I want to learn more, I want to know more. And my opinions might change one day, but please let these two little stories here that I'm presenting to you be something for you to take to heart. And in the future, whatever president comes on up on a podium, whatever celebrity is behind a mic telling you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, don't listen to, blah, 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 and they make you feel nice and warm and fuzzy, don't go for it, right? Hear both sides of the coin. This even goes for the poke, right? What I've said, I'm not against it. I've said it's very likely that I'm going to take it one day, but I've also said I'm going to hear what is going out there with these pokes. I'm going to hear what is going on with these case studies, right? I'm very interested in knowing why some individuals are really pushing it, right, in your face. So I'm going to hear all sides before I just get in line and fight to be at the front of the line. So I'll leave it there. All right. Let's move on to the actual news. The drama. What? All right. Let's move on to the drama. All right. So this all started, all right, because I came across a video of an individual, of a man that goes by the username Smithy Boy, I believe is his username on TikTok. It matters. And it matters because I've been fighting something that I've been telling you guys here that I am not with. And I'm going to leave it here very clearly if for some reason you haven't seen one of my videos. I am not with the blind generalizing, the blind hating of white individuals. I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. I don't accept it. I'm going to fight it. Period. I don't like it. Why? It's because you're a coconut. I've heard that one. It's because you're a sympathizer. Sorry, that's the accent. That's the little thing that I feel like all my haters have. It's because you're mean. They're gonna cancel me. No, it's because I wouldn't accept it from anyone. Period. If you come across, if you think that I'm gonna allow you to come to me, right? Hypothetically, right? You're like, all right, cool. So let's hate all black people. I'm gonna basically flip you off and tell you to F yourself. No, I am not going to accept generalizing any group, period. Which is, side note, what I've been trying to fight, if you guys haven't seen it, on my episode of the trans women in sports, for the past month, of people obviously only headline reading, right? Maybe reading a few comments that make them feel good, and then just blah, 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 all over my comment section, right? They're just hating. And I'll sit there and I'll explain over and over, because I do. I'll take the time. I'll take the time to fight with you. It's okay. I'm not here to blindly hate, generalize all trans individuals. Just a side note, right? I made a good point on that, but that we'll leave for another video. Let's get back to the topic. And often I come across on TikTok videos of people of color, which includes pretty much any color but white people, right? People of color, which is another thing that I have a problem with. You know, because it's like people of color, dude, technically even white people, that doesn't exist. It's not a thing. You know, they're not actually white, right? I mean, they're not. But, okay. Saying things like jokes, right? Jokes against white people. Because let's be honest, and I want you to be honest right now. Don't BS. Don't get all mixed up in your feelings. If you are a person of color, it is much more largely accepted, and pretty much it's even like supported by many groups if you make a very racist joke against white people. It is. It's fine. It's like, if anything, again, if you're like me and you call it out and you say, hey man, if this was the other way around, you're like, be quiet. God, coconut, you know you're Mexican, right? I don't know why that's always something that people think that's going to be like the great insult. I don't know if that's always they're always typing that up and they're like, you know you're Mexican, right? Anybody? No, dumbass. Of course I know I'm Mexican. No, and that doesn't make me a coconut. Although, if we're also going to be sticking to science here, aren't we all coconuts? Have you ever seen anybody cut open? We're all white inside. I'm just saying. Okay. So this man does a video. He does a video on, he does a stitch, is what they call it, on a video where a young Mexican lady that was graduating, and I'm going to say Mexican because she had a Mexican flag around her, was graduating from high school. And I remember that video, seeing it come across my For You page, right? I remember seeing it. I didn't think much of it. I really did not. I'm like, okay, some girl that is very proud of being Mexican and walked to get her diploma or whatever they give you, right, when you graduate, with a Mexican flag around her. I'm like, whatever. Boom, scroll bypass it. Well, of course he didn't, right? And what he decided to do, was a video where he essentially said the following. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. So I'm going to show you guys the video first. I'm going to click on it. I have it right here. All right, I want you to hear a part of his response. Unfortunately, Smitty Boy _91 either took down the videos or they were taken down. I think he took them down because he got a lot of backlash for him. But this is how my drama started with him. And the reason, again, I'm bringing it up is because I want to really deliver a message to you, Smitty Boy, if you're watching this, because I'm not going to just do a 90 or whatever, is it a 60-second TikTok? There's just way too much to say in 60 seconds. But let's first go and show you the first video that got this whole thing started, okay? Here we go.
People of color simply existing bothers white people.
Why can we get past the generalizing? Why do you have to go out and say such a statement that it bothers white people just because allegedly we exist? Let me tell you, as someone that has made multiple times over $1 million in business off the backs of white people, I can tell you that this is complete BS. Furthermore, let me also tell you that if this would have been done in Mexico, meaning that an American would have walked in there, right? A white American would have walked into Mexico to the graduation in an American flag, they would have booed her out. There's a video, look in my own videos, there's a video that I have where a very famous TV judge tells someone to speak Spanish, that, you know, because they're in a Spanish-speaking country. The double standard is insane, but you don't know. You're kind of just talking out of your ass there. Just because you see maybe one snobbish freaking kid, you know, with a face.
So, I'm going to stop there. That's pretty much the end of that TikTok. Again, they're all about, if you guys don't know what that TikTok is, it's a platform where you can upload, 15 to 60 second long little clip videos. Okay. So, in that video, okay, I'm going to see if I can pause it real quick here. There we go. So, this is the original video that I was talking about, right? Where you have this young lady here with the Mexican flag around her, and you have here this snobbish looking teenager back here. Everyone else looks fine. I remember seeing the original video. I can't find it, but the original video, there's this other chick here. Yes, she was a white teenager, another white teenager, and they all look fine. Look at that face, and the face back here. Just take my word for it. They look fine. The guy here looks like whatever. He's probably the principal. Was about to reach out and shake her hand. One person right there. Look at that. Later on, I found out, by the way, side note on that video, that this chick supposedly came out and said that she's being attacked for no reason. She wasn't upset at anything that was happening in front of her. It was something about a text message that she had gotten, right? Teenager drama. But this man right here, Smitty Boy, decided to do it about, oh, they hate that we exist. And as I told him in my video, dude, just because you see one snobbish freaking looking face, you're not going to generalize an entire race and be like, oh, they see that? White people hate us. Dude, come on, man. We need to be better than that. But okay, that was that one point there, right? Now, in addition there, what I also told him, when it comes to if an American would have, an American would have done it in Mexico, I have seen it. For my Mexicans out there, let's not BS here, all right? Most of the time, when you have had other countries go to Mexico and compete, I'll give you sports as an example. All right? What do we hear? All right? Come on. What do we hear? Right? We say things like culero, meaning like it's like saying like basically like fucker. Right? We don't think highly. It's Mexico all the way, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. You're in Mexico and feel as happy as you want about Mexico and proud of Mexico. That's fine. I'm not arguing that. But the standard, as I've always said in other videos, is there. The double standard is very alive here in the U.S. If for some reason you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that TV judge, let me see if I can find it here very quickly. If not, you guys are going to have to go find it. Oh, here it is. I'll show you guys the first few seconds.
Aquí se habla español. Aquí nosotros no ponemos letrerito. Y tú te llamas Luna.
Okay, so that's the clip, right? You guys can go find if you want to see what else I said. But essentially, you guys have all seen that judge, right? I don't even remember her name. She's a judge in a I think it's Cuban. No, not Cuban. It's Colombian TV show. And she was being I'm saying that she was being a bitch to that one girl that was probably raised in the U.S., right? Her name is Luna, and she was literally mocking her. Tú te llamas Luna, no te llamas Moon. She literally said that to the girl, right? Just mocking her on national television. Aquí tú hablas español, and the girl's like, okay, but I don't care. You know what I mean? But like she was yelling at this girl, right? People have come at me for talking about people like Jojo Siwa, who was 18, who was an adult, but this judge is yelling at a kid who cannot be older than 15, in my opinion. And she was just like ramming her. No, tú hablas español. And I all say in that video is, if you would have heard that here in the U.S., oh my God, the backlash. But of course, people defend it because they're like, yeah, because English is not a actual language of the U.S. Okay. The point is the same. That anything anywhere else in the world is accepted, but if it's done here, that's a problem. So that's what I said about the flag. If you would have had, be honest, my Mexicans, you would have had a freaking guy, someone like me, anybody with a U.S. flag around him. I know the Mexicans that at least I grew up with, and they would have freaking been like, at him the whole time. But here it's fine. Here we have to applaud it, which at the end of the day, when it comes to the girl with the flag, I don't care. If you want to freaking come out with a Russian flag, with a Chinese flag, do you, man? I don't care. But back to the problem. He was saying, you see that girl with the snobbish face? Yeah, white people. So then I responded to that, right? Then he came around and responded with another video, which again, the full video unfortunately was taken down, and I should have downloaded it, but I didn't. But here's a very quick snippet of what he said, and then my response to his own video. By the way, he said I had like a boring podcast, which is maybe true, right? I mean, some of you guys are still here and like, it's not that boring. Thank you. But yeah, and then he also said, I'm mojado. Okay, I'm mojado. But okay, check this out.
So you're one of those Hispanics. You make money with white people, so you sympathize with them. You want to sit here and stick up.
Oh, I'm one of those Mexicans, huh? Do you ever try not to be racist? You know, I gotta tell you, man, it's really sad and pathetic that you're that full of hate. Hide it however you want to hide it, twist it however you want to twist it. The reality is that you hate white people simply because they're white. And of course, is exactly what we're trying to fight in this country against minorities, right? That anybody can be hated because of the color of their skin. Yet you have the privilege to do so. Yeah, that's right. Black privilege. Something that other black people agree as well, that exists. But of course, you know, you probably call them something racist as well because they don't agree with you. They don't go with your agenda. You trying to call me out for a boring podcast? What the fuck do you have going on? What do you have going on? Not much from what I can see. And I don't know only good English, I know good Spanish too. And let me tell you something. Mojado tienes el culo, pendejo. Go tell that to the Mexican people that you supposedly you checked in with.
So those of you guys that are my only English speakers, and at the end you're like, wait, go back. What did you say? Something about mojado? Something culo? What is that? It's not wet Kool-Aid. I told him that his ass is wet, basically. Okay, because mojado is a derogatory term, which he said he checked in with. Smitty boy, you did say that, all right? That somebody, you know, you had like, what do they call it? Like just like they say white people have token black people. You said basically that you have token Mexicans that said it was okay for you to say that term. Now, to be fair to Smitty boy, I'm gonna say right now that he apologized. Thank you for apologizing. I didn't make you apologize. You took down the videos. That's fine as well. Right? But he said essentially there that I'm one of those. And as you heard right there, you know, I'm like, what do you mean one of those, dude? Like, it wouldn't fly if anybody would say, oh, you're one of those black people. It just wouldn't fly, Smitty boy. And I'm talking to you because I know you're going to watch this. It wouldn't fly for someone to use, you know, language like that, man. And that's what I'm trying to point out here. The obvious double standard that exists, at least here in the United States. Okay? Now let's get to the last video, which is an interesting one, right? In which he comes out and apologizes, which I thank you, Smitty boy. And this is my response to him. And then we're going to go to one last video that he just made today so we can close out this drama.
To the gentleman in this video, although I may not agree with your viewpoint, I apologize.
First of all, thank you for apologizing. I know it takes a lot of courage to actually admit when you're wrong. Now, let's get back to what you originally disagree with me, and that is to say that all white people, right? Let's just leave it at that, right? With that one video you had, which you took down or was taken down, whatever the case might be, generalizing an entire group because of their skin color. We need to get past generalizing all white people just because of a few idiots. Look at yourself, for instance, and your following. You have over 20,000 right, followers here on TikTok, and you're going to tell me that you actually believe that every single one of those individuals are minorities? Think about it. You're going to tell me that you think you have no white followers that support you? So how do you think they feel when you generalize by saying all white people? We need to get past that as a human race, hopefully around the entire world, but for sure here in the United States. But thank you for your apology, and you know what? I wish you good luck.
All right, we're going to go right into this guy's not apology, I'm sorry, this guy's last video about me. By the way, side note, it always weirds me out when I see I see myself in other people's accounts for some reason, like it's or other people, like a screenshot of my face. Let's see if I can find him. So what is it? Smitty boy. Smitty, oh sorry, Smitty boy, right? Smitty boy underscore 91. Am I right? Smitty boy? Am I typing that right? Oh, Smitty boy with a Y, with the I. That's my bad. Okay, here it is. All right. So there I am again. Handsome devil, right? Oh, you guys can't see it. But I'm going to click on the video.
Generalizing all white people just because of a few idiots. Look.
All right, so boom, if somebody in your family was assaulted by a man and they decide that they no longer trust men and that they're going to be selective with their trust, they're not just going to open their door and freely just accept all. Are you going to say the same thing and say stop generalizing men? Probably not, right? So same thing goes for me. I'm not going to sit here and accept all white people and open my door to them. No, I'm going to generalize them as all racists until proven otherwise because I know what their ancestors did to mine. I know that my people were originally here and enslaved on their land, their heritage and their culture and their language stripped from them. They were beaten, put to work, and raped. Raped. Both men and women. Creating this mixed bloodline that I have and why I have a fair-skinned daddy, fair-skinned grandmother, or a great-grandfather that looks white. And there's my native-looking grandfather.
All right. So that's the response, right? By the way, Smeeny boy, shout out to your grandmama. You know, that lady looks great, man. Like, I don't know how old she is, but she looks pretty damn good. All right, Smeeny boy. So I made my notes because I do my homework, right? When it's a respectful argument, all right, I take the time to do this. I don't do this whole YouTube stuff, all right, and seek your guys' interaction because I take it for granted, or because I just say it clicheically like a lot of other creators say. Leave your comments down below, like the video, subscribe. No. If you're gonna leave a comment and it's gonna be a respectful one, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. If you're gonna be an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole. And I already said that, right? Okay. Speedy boy, you said your example, which it is not. I'm sorry. It is not a apples to apples comparison. I think you guys, hopefully you guys watch it right now. Tell me if you agree or not. Please tell me in the comments down below. You're not doing an apples to apples comparison. You're doing more of an oranges to apples comparison by saying, oh, if somebody in your family by a man got abused, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you right now that I'm sorry, you shouldn't have spoken for me and saying you probably wouldn't, right? No, I would advise the woman that you're saying, you know, somebody in my family, let's just say a woman, right? I would advise said person in saying, hey, no, like don't close yourself out to all men and hate all men and men are disgusting and go on this like tirade against men because unfortunately you came across one POS. Like, no, I would help that person through it and show them, right? I'm probably related to you because I want you to think that. I want you to really think about it. I'm a man. I would be there for that person. I'm not like the person that did something to you. I'm here for you, right? Let's just pretend it's my sister. Hey, I'm here for you. F that POS, right? I'm a man. I'm not like him. So I'm here for you. So that argument kind of cancels it out. Unless you're going to say that I would be, you're kind of, with your logic, you're saying that I am also like that. And you're like that too. We're all the same. No, dude. Not okay. Now, you said that you would, you know, that person would probably be more selective. You're right. Yes, that woman, right, being abused by a man or something would probably be more selective. As really they should right now anyways, right? Because there's a lot of bad guys out there. But that's not what you're doing, sir. You're not being selective. You're being, like, as you said, your own words, you will continue to generalize. Generalize, sweetie boy, is not the same as being selective, sir. They are very, very different things. All right? Me going to the supermarket and seeing a cup of fruit there, selectively choosing whatever, you know, looks best, is different than just saying, all of them are bad. Mira la que está allá, looks nasty. Nope, they're all bad. And walking away. See? Okay. Moving on. You also made another point. You said, until proven otherwise. I caught that from there. Until proven otherwise, you said. What does that mean, man? What does that mean, until proven otherwise? Let's be honest right now. 100% honest. What are you basically saying out to the white world? Right? To those that you generalize. What do they have to do to be worthy of you? You can say nothing. I'm no one. They don't have to even like me. True. But that's not the world that we should invite. That's not the world that we should push onto others. We should try our best to get along with everybody, to accept everyone. Are there some POSs out there? Absolutely. And I've said it on here. Hell, I'm one of the guys that have said it here on YouTube that I am 100% for the death penalty. POSs, pedos, rapists, I confirmed. Admit it, like the Richard Ramirez of the world, get them the hell out. Get him. I'm not going to be paying tax, pay dollars to feed those POSs. But that's not the vast majority of people, Smeety boy. That's not the vast majority of white individuals. So what do they have to do to be accepted by you? Since you're saying until proven otherwise, what does that mean? Right? Because unlike the law that says until proven guilty, which there is a process, right, to prove that you're guilty. What is your process until proven otherwise? Do they have to what? Bend the knee to you? Do they have to call you king? Do they have to what? Tattoo your name on themselves? Like, what is it? So I think you're being vague there on purpose, right? Because you don't know how to direct your anger and your hatred towards white individuals. As again, you left very clearly. I'm not putting words in your mouth at this point. You've left it very clearly. So, okay, let's move on. And then you say that, them, right? White people have allegedly, not even them, by the way. At least you did get to say that in the past, right? Like ancestors. They have taken like your culture and your language. Well, two things to that. The first one, as you said, not maybe them, but maybe even their ancestors. And what fault do they have of the choices of their ancestors? I will leave this very clearly here for you. What fault would your father, an example, who looks like an outstanding man there, right, would have of the faults of you, of that you have? I ask you that sincerely. You have faults because I have faults. We all do. We're human. But how dare anyone blame your father for them, right? And put him forever, so to speak, at the stake for them, right? And forever hold your father accountable for anything stupidity that you or I would do, right? On my parents' side. We can't. That is why the parents of, an example, serial killers, we don't also imprison or we don't also set to death. Because we understand that while there is some accountability that must occur on the parent side, we're not going to also automatically go and be like, all right, so you're the mother of Richard Ramirez, vámonos, también. No, that's not how society works. So for you to say, well, their ancestors raped. And I understand. It is disgusting that even that have ever occurred. It is. But to that, I will also say this. Do you really sincerely believe that just like now, there are consensual, romantic relationships between a black man or a woman and a white man or woman that occur now? You don't believe that they occurred back then? Because history books, stories exist that it did. That women would fall in love with men that were slaves. They exist. And they needed to hide it. They couldn't obviously, right? It wasn't allowed. And it happened the other way around too, where men would fall in love with black slaves. And again, that's some of the stuff that you're not allowing to be said, or you're not purposely saying it because it doesn't validate your point or your feelings. And I'm sorry, facts don't care about your feelings. They just don't. Now, going back to the culture and the language, I said I had two on those. The other thing, sir, is that just much like me, if I cared so much about my indigenous side, which I do have a large indigenous side, I took the DNA test. I know. I could go and, start learning all about my indigenous side, learn the language if I could, and just bring it all back to life, per se. No one is taking it from me now. I have chosen, much like you, I bet, to not live by that culture, to not talk only in that language. No one is taking, there is nobody right now, sir, here in the United States that will take whatever language you're saying that was taken from you and culture. No one. You're free to do so. You live in America. You are more than welcome to do right about anything because you live in a free country. No matter what far leftists say, you do. No one is going to tear a book from your hands right now because you're trying to learn an indigenous language. No one is going to tell you not to wear whatever it is that you want to wear. You want to go all in pink outside, guarantee you no one's going to say anything. I mean, they critique you, screw them. But no one's really going to tell you to take that off. You can't wear it. Wear whatever you want. So your point there gets kind of canceled. All right. And for the last one, you said, about towards the end there, you said, you admitted that you have probably some strong roots, right? With white, along your lineage, white individuals. All I will say to that, man, is I don't know that it would be healthy for you to continue with this self-hate that it feels like, in my opinion, you have, right? I'm okay, and I applaud anybody that has pride in a certain, side of their ancestors, like a certain side, like me. Clearly, I'm a Mexican, as you said, right? I'm one of those. I'm proud of being Mexican. I have nothing to hide. I don't want to be anything but a Mexican. All right? I enjoy my culture where I want to enjoy it. This is how I am, right? I enjoy tacos and enchiladas and everything Mexican, as much as I enjoy an old-fashioned barbecue burger, hot dogs. But I also enjoy ribs. I also enjoy Italian food, right? No one's going to take away my Mexican because I choose to do a whole week of Italian food. No one is going to take, you being black because you choose to open your heart to say, you know what, you're right, JT. Not all white people are the same, and I shouldn't generalize. It doesn't make you less black, sir. Again, because you have said what you have said about, hey, listen, look, my fair skin, grandmother, my fair skin, I would recommend that, you really look deep inside and don't hate that side of you. It is something that's a part of you. And something that is a part of you, Smeety boy, you shouldn't hate. Because life is too short to have that level of self-hate. We are in a generation, in a world, thank God actually, that we do preach, right, to be more accepted and to accept others. Although I have a big argument with that, which I can leave it for another video. There's a lot of hypocrisy behind that. But if we remove the hypocrisy, we should practice what we preach, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm not white. In fact, when I did my DNA test, it's not the majority of my lineage. I don't have a lineage. I'm sorry. I don't have a reason to fight for it, really. I don't look white, right? Even though I have some Spaniard or whatever it is blood in me, I mainly look Mexican. But I choose to fight equally for everyone. I choose to preach acceptance for everyone. I choose to also fight for facts. And I choose to also put him in front of people, right? But when it comes to race, Smitty boy, my recommendation is, and all I want to tell you is, take a deep breath, man. Love yourself. Love whatever it is, whatever you're mixed in with inside. It's a beautiful thing, man. It makes you who you are. I think you're probably, at the end of the day, a stand-up guy. I have no reason to believe that you're maybe some type of criminal or some type of monster. You're probably a really cool guy, right? I'm pretty sure you're a guy that can probably open up a beer with, right? I'm not sure if you drink. I do, but you get my point, right? And I thank you for responding back and forth. I will respond back to you on that TikTok. I'm sure maybe you already saw it. And yeah, man, if you have something else to say, in fact, this is how much I like to bridge things. You want to come on the show and say your piece? I invite you. The invitation is on the table. I'm more than willing to have a conversation with you. And hell, you want to open my eyes up to something I'm not seeing? Okay, I'm open to that. But as it is right now, I will invite you, a white individual, an Asian individual, a trans man, a trans woman, a gay man, a gay woman, a Christian, a Muslim. Everyone's invited to my show. As long as we keep it respectful, you can air your points. You can voice your opinion. My platform is here for you. But the moment you throw hate, the moment you make it nasty, it's over. I'm done listening. All right? So for the rest of you, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoy the show today. And that's it for the drama. All right? That's it for the drama. Until next time. See ya.